Hello ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers of Burundi National TV. Thank you for joining our programs, and it's time for English News edition. But before starting, let's apologize for the delay occurred. It was due to a technical issue. Straight forward to the headlines. The political capital city of Burundi, Gitega, hosted a significant retreat organized by the CNDD-FDD political party. This event presided over by the head of state, Evariste Ndayishimiye, who also serves as the president of the Council of Elders of this ruling party. It aimed at strengthening local governance and enhance service delivery and ensure harmonious growth across the country. Burundians in exile are urged to return as Burundi, their motherland, is ready to welcome them back and support them in development initiatives. This call was made Wednesday by Nestor Bimenyimana, Director General in charge of the repatriation and the reintegration of refugees, during a public conference held in Nyanza Commune, Burunga Province. These were headlines. Will come now in details. On Thursday, September 11, 2025, the political capital city of Burundi, Gitega, hosted a significant retreat organized by the CNDD-FDD political party. This event was presided over by the head of state, Evariste Ndayishimiye, who also serves as the president for the Council of Elders of this ruling party. The retreat followed the previous session aimed at the nation's high-ranking officials, underscoring the party's commitment to fostering unity and the shared vision of the national development. Attendees included newly elected administrative leaders, predominantly from the CNDD-FDD, as well as the party representatives and the provincial and communal security officials. The primary focus was to provide clear guidance on decentralization to better serve the grassroots of population. Discussion also centered on aligning local efforts with the government's vision of emerging Burundi by 2040 and develop the nation by 2060. This initiative aims to strengthen local governance, enhance service delivery, and ensure harmonious growth across the country. In summary, this retreat marked a pivotal step in implementing Burundi's development vision, consolidating decentralization, and mobilizing all local actors for active participation in achieving national objectives. Let's now move to Butanyerera, where senators are urged to carry out their duties with integrity and in strict adherence to the laws and the regulations governing their mandate, while also aligning their actions with the country's development objectives. Senior officials and other staff of the institution are likewise encouraged to work with diligence and loyalty in accordance with the legal framework governing their responsibilities. This was the message delivered by the Speaker of the Senate, Gervais Ndirakobucha, during the opening of a training retreat this Thursday in Ngozi. This story was translated by our colleague, Joseph Muindaja.
In this refresh session, two senators and other staff of the Senate, Gervais Ndirakobucha, Speaker of the Senate, stated the importance of serving the country and the citizens with integrity. He reminded that senators are elected to represent citizens. They must then be aware of their responsibilities. He emphasized on the need of understanding laws and regulations that govern their career, especially the laws establishment, the assessment of the government, among others. He highlighted that the knowledge will enable them to effectively serve the population and contribute to the development of the country. Gervais Ndirakobucha exhorted participants to the training to carefully follow the teachings that will enable them to, be aware of their responsibilities and comply with the current laws and regulations. He asked the executives of the Senate to work in line with the leaders' perspectives, precising the importance of self-assessment before controlling the government's actions. This aims at noticing if the staff of the Senate effectively perform their responsibilities.
This Thursday, September 11, 2025, the Burundian Ombudsman Aimé Laurentine Kanyana participating in a regional workshop held in Bujumbura under the theme Entrepreneurship, a lever for promoting the youth, peace and the security agenda in Central Africa. It was organized with the support of international allies. The event aimed to foster dialogue and experience sharing among the young entrepreneurs from the region. In her remarks, the Ombudsman, who also serves as the regional coordinator for Central Africa within the African Ombudsman and the Mediators Association (AOMA), commended the government of Burundi and its technical and financial partners for their unwavering support of youth empowerment for peace and inclusive development. She further encouraged young people to engage in collaborative projects and share experiences in order to strengthen regional ties among young entrepreneurs. As I was saying so far in top stories, Burundians in exile are urged to return as Burundi, their motherland, is ready to welcome them back and support them in development initiatives. This call was made on Wednesday by Nestor Bimenyimana, Director General in charge of repatriation and reintegration of refugees, during a public conference held in Nyanza Commune, Burunga Province. The event was organized by the Directorate responsible for refugee return and reintegration. During the conference, several returnees shared testimonies about prevailing peace in Burundi, while messages from those still in exile were also heard. Jackson Irakose.
It was at the Nyanza Commune Stadium that the team in charge of the repatriation and reintegration of refugees organized a public conference featuring testimonies from returnees as well as messages from those still living in a refugee camp in various countries. Some of the returnees from different countries expressed their gratitude to the government of Burundi and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR. They shared numerous testimonies and encouraged Burundians still living in refugee camp to return home, affirming that there are opportunities to improve living conditions and that peace and security are now guaranteed. Nestor Bimenyimana, Director General in charge of repatriation and reintegration of refugees, called on Burundians still in exile to come back to their country of origin, emphasizing that the authorities are ready to welcome them and support them in development projects aligned with the national vision. It is worth noting that this conference brought together refugees from about 10 countries, including Burundi, Tanzania, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Kenya, South Africa, Mozambique, Malawi, and Zambia. The event was also graced by the presence of several authorities from Burunga province.
More than 2.3 million households in Burundi rely on agriculture for their livelihood, with the province of Butanyerera ranking first in this sector. This information was disclosed on Thursday during the release of the data by the Central Census Office (BCEL) in French acronym, drawn from the General Census of Population, Housing, Agriculture and Livestock. Nicola Ndaishimiye, president of the BCEL, stated that these figures will serve as the base of better planning of agricultural development projects. Jackson Irakoze once again.
According to the statistics from the recent general census, there is slightly over 2,350,000 households in Burundi. Of these, more than 85% depend on agriculture and livestock, especially small livestock, for their livelihood. 7 out of 10 households reported reuse chemical fertilizers alongside organic manure. The data also show that only 25 of households, that is 1 in 4, grow selected or improved seeds. There are 661 officially recognized sites practicing modern and large-scale agriculture. Of these, 80% are individually owned, while the rest belong to cooperatives. Additionally, only 18 of households in Burundi rear cattle. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Agriculture and Livestock, Diomede Ndairukiye, stated that these statistics will provide updated and reliable data to development partners, facilitating the implementation of sustainable development projects. Amberto Chingrio, FAO's representative in Burundi, emphasized the organization's commitment to supporting agricultural projects aimed at fighting poverty and building a sustainable future. On his side, Nicolas Ndayishimiye, head of the National Census Bureau, said that these statistics will significantly contribute to improving the agricultural sector. He also noted that these agricultural figures are provisional. It is worth recalling that the general population housing, agriculture and livestock census in Burundi was conducted in 2024.
Great. We keep on our edition. This Thursday, the Ministry in charge of Environment, Agriculture, in collaboration with the other partners, launched an agricultural extension application called Menya Murimyi. This platform is designed to provide farmers with vital information to improve their productivity. Details. Yesterday, the Ministry of Environment and Agriculture, in collaboration with the Confederation of Agricultural Producers Association for Development, CAPAD, and the German NGO World Hunger Hive, WHH, officially launched the Menya Murimyi digital platform. This initiative aims to provide Burundian farmers with vital agricultural information to enhance their productivity. Emmanuel Nyungeko, representing the ministry, highlighted that the platform is designed to assist farmers in organizing the agricultural activities more effectively. Currently, it serves approximately 80% of the farming community. Francis Kujojo Meda, WHH's country director in Burundi, emphasized that Menya Murimyi represents a significant step toward transforming agriculture and achieving food security in the country. Gilbert Nyandwi, president of CAPAD, noted that the platform enables farmers to stay informed about agricultural development nationwide. The platform has already been implemented in the provinces of Kirundo, Changuzo, and Ruyigi, focusing on 5 key crops: rice, cassava, bananas, maize, and tomatoes. Plans are underway to expand its reach across the entire country. Let's now have a look at sport. On the 4th day of the East and Central African Impunity Football Tournament proceeded this Thursday with one match on the schedule, opposing the Tanzania wearing the yellow to Uganda against Uganda dressed in red jerseys. The first half ended with a strong dominance by the Tanzanian team, which is called 3 goals, while Uganda failed to find the back of the net. In the second half, despite Uganda's efforts to close the gap, they were unable to score. In the end, the match concluded with a 4-1 victory for Tanzania. This Friday, the semi-finals are set to take place. Kenya will face the Democratic Republic of the Congo, while Burundi will take on Tanzania. Some football fans in Burundi remain hopeful that, given the stronger performances of the national team so far, it stands a real chance of winning the tournament. They also note that hosting such a tournament reflects a positive image of the country. Burundians are further encouraged to support the talents of people living with disabilities, as emphasized by a young and gifted player known as Nipo Sipo. The final match is scheduled for this Saturday at the Ngagara playground. Let's now just have a look at the sector of health. Traditional healers gathered under the National Network of Traditional Practitioners of Burundi are calling on the government to provide them with a modern laboratory. This would enable them to produce certified medicinal products and export them abroad. The request was made by the president of the network this Thursday during the celebration of African Traditional Medicine Day. For full story, Marius Muhigo.
By the time when Burundi has joined the African countries in the celebration of the African Day of the Traditional Medicine, studies have shown that the world population in general and the African in particular, between 20 and 80% resorted to traditional medicine in Burundi. 80% of the population resorted to the traditional practitioners using traditional plants. As it is practiced within a legal and regulatory framework since 2014, a law was decreed organizing this sector as indicated by the president of the National Network of Traditional Practitioners of Burundi, Nicholas Jonathan. He positively appreciates the step already achieved, the good collaboration that exists. Meanwhile, he asks the government of Burundi to set up modern laboratories so that they can export their medicines even abroad. He also asks the government for land for cultivation of medicinal plants. The ministry is satisfied with the contribution of these traditional practitioners in improving the health of the population. It is also indicated that this sector has begun to be developed. The celebration of the African Day of Traditional Medicine, celebrated every August 31 of each year in the field to strengthen the factual base on a traditional medicine, was also marked by the visit of the stands of different traditional practitioners who treat different diseases.
Yes, it was a great pleasure to be with you, and it's with this element we conclude our edition. Evax Tenyong was on the presentation. Bye-bye.